Welcome back, y'all. So I was out here today working on the Subaru. I'd gotten a boost leak. The turbo outlet, the coupler that goes to the intercooler had slipped off. I think it was because of the spacers that came with the Cobb 20G. I took those spacers off and was able to get the coupler on there better. But while I was out here, I thought today would be a good day to do the Torque Solution Brake Master cylinder brace. So what you get with this, of course, you get the bracket with the tensioning bolt, a bag of hardware, which is basically just 5 bolts, and the plate that goes on the end of the tensioning bolt up against that presses up against the master cylinder. Should be a pretty simple install. All you really need is some 13s for the tensioning bolt and locking down with the nut here, and then some a 10 millimeter. Probably use a ratchet wrench, but a wrench or a small 10 millimeter socket would work. It's gonna show you where it's gonna go. So these braces go in place basically where the fuel pressure regulator bracket goes. So it may take some finagling to get that to fit right, but basically the bolts all line up right there, and then that red piece presses against the master cylinder to minimize flexing. I'm gonna get going with it. I haven't done one of these before, so we'll see how it goes. It shouldn't take too long though. It's only 5 bolts and then the tensioning bolt. So anyway, I'll probably just go ahead and get it on there, and then this will probably be a short video. I just wanted to do it and let you know how hard it is. And so I'll be back. Okay, so step 1, you got to take the fuel pressure regulator support bracket off with these two it's held on by these two 10 millimeter bolts right there. That loosens this up to get these out of the way, because those are 2 of the mounting bolts for the brace bracket. Also, I had to take the 13 millimeter nut off to get the fuel pressure regulator loose right there. So anyway, I'm gonna get going on getting the bracket on. Should take me more than a few more minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, real quick, before I finish up, it's only been a few minutes, but you want to get the bottom 2 in early, because once you get everything else in, it's just going to add to getting in the way. Saw that pretty quick. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's basically on the other side of this, the piece that extends out to push against the master cylinder, there's 2 more bolts under there. And then the one here, and then the 2 that replace the factory ones that were already in. So I've still got to put those in, get the fuel pressure regulator put back on. And then I will go ahead and put this piece in and tighten that tension bolt up, and that'll be it. So be back. All right, well, it's in there. I'm only looking at about 20 minutes or so of work, really. So as you can see, it's pressed up against there. That's locked down. The fuel pressure regulator is back on. Not too bad. It's a little tight in there, honestly. If I was doing this, if I wanted to do this right, I'd go ahead and remove the fuel pressure, the fuel lines off the top, just to get them out of the way. It'd free up a lot of space. Honestly, that was probably the most difficult part, was fighting with the fuel lines, keeping them out of the way while you're trying to tighten those bolts down. Anyway, I'm gonna drive it after a bit, and I'll get my thoughts and see if it helped or noticed it any. I mean, it's not really in the way of anything, so it's not like I'm not gonna take it off if I didn't notice. I'm just gonna, okay, I'll let y'all know it's an overhyped product or whatever, or maybe it's what everybody says it is. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, so it's been about 2 days since I installed the master cylinder brace. And I will tell you that yes, what everybody says is true. It is a good modification. You know, for the cost, it does add quite a bit of brake pedal feel. It doesn't feel like you have to push as hard on the brake to get clamping, and I don't know, it just kind of feels like you get the process of stopping starts faster, because sooner in your pressing of the pedal you get brake force. So yep, not much to say about it. It's a cheap part. It's one of those things that I did just because it was one of those low-hanging fruit mods that seemed like that you could do. And yeah, I think I said it took about 25 minutes or so to install, and it was only like, I think it was 70, 80 bucks or something like that. Yep, good thumbs up for me on that. I imagine all the master cylinder braces are the same, but I've just been going with the Torque Solution stuff since I kind of stuck with that throughout most of what I've done. So yeah, so not much else to say. I recommend it. So until next time, I'll be back.